Hi, my name's Ian and welcome to the channel. I've not been here before, and if you have been here before, then welcome back. In this video we're going to be changing the gear linkage cables on the 2.4 litre rear wheel drive Ford Transit Mark 7. Mine's a 2009 version, but basically the kit should fit a 2006 to 2014. So we'll jump into the video and show you what the problem was I had the other day. So I'd gone from first to second gear, and then the next thing I went from the second to third, and the gear stick is just doing this. So to get the job done, we need to release this here. We also need to release this one here as well. These need to be pulled away out of the brackets that they're sat in. But before you can do any of that, down here, you might just make out there's when my finger's pointing, there's a bolt head there. That's an 8mm bolt. And then under here, down the back end there is another one as well. I'm not quite sure how easy it's going to be to get the socket in there, but we shall have a go. I remember watching somebody else do the video and they ended up having to use an 8mm spanner instead because they couldn't get the socket in, but maybe their socket's a bit different size to what mine is. So yeah, the first thing to do is to get these two bolts out first, and then that will release this is like a rubber grommet. So yeah, we've got to get that bit loose first, and then what we'll do is I'll just take you underneath the van and show you where the rest of it is, and also what the AA guy did as well. So right, so underneath the van here you can see where my finger's pointing there. If it's in focus, hopefully it is. That there is where one of the cables comes to, and then the other one comes up where that silver thing is with the wire wrapped around it. That's the one that actually came loose. So the AA guy has wrapped some wire around it, but that little metal clip that was there he found on the floor underneath the van, and he says that this has been repaired before, and he says only a temporary repair, but obviously it's been there for quite a while. So the idea is that they're going to release all that wire, that clip off of there, and then release that from there, release this one from here, and then there's also like a metal bracket again, a bit like up on the upper side of it, where we've got to get these cables off of those brackets as well, I think. But once it's all released, I think it'll come up through the floor, and then we can then put the new one in. The AA guy said it was a reasonably easy job to do, but yeah, I've heard people say, oh, that's an easy job to do before, but it's a case of then have to work underneath it, but we shall see. Well, I'll say today's about the first warmest day of the year we've had so far, and Leanne's just brought me out a smoothie to cool me down. That's nice. So I've now got this first bolt nearly all the way out now. That one's easy enough to do. What I've done is I've used ratchet with an extension on it. That was the easiest way because this carpet gets in the way, but yeah, the one at the back is the one I think is going to be a bit of a pain in the bum, but I'll let you know how easy that one is in a minute. If you pull the rubber flooring back a bit, you can just about get the ratchet in there. It's slow work, but it's coming out slowly. I'll probably change to the 8mm spanner in a bit, but yeah, managed to get it out some of the way so far anyway. So I might just get to the point I can get it to the point where I can get it out of my fingers, but we shall see. Word of warning, don't do what I've just done and cut your hand when you're trying to get your hand in to get the screw out. This piece of metal here might not be the same on all of these vans, but this is quite quite rusty, and it's quite rough as well. So yeah, just be careful of that. Maybe wear some gloves, but then again, if you're wearing gloves you might be able to actually get the damn thing out in the first place. Right, I'm going underneath now to undo what the AA guy did. So now I've released the repair that the AA guy did. Basically this piece up here has just it's come off its ball. This is what's happened. It's just not clipping on anymore. So I'm just hoping that it's not this bracket, the actual ball itself that's worn out, and it's just that it's the plastic, which I would suspect it's more likely to be that. But what I'll do is I'll just release this, and I'll show you what the gear stick was doing when the problem happened. So I went from first to second gear, and then the next thing I know is the gear stick's flopping around all over the place. So I'll show you what that was like. So yeah, so I'd gone from first to second gear, and then the next thing I went from the second to third, and the gear stick is just doing this. Thankfully I didn't, because it was stuck in second gear, I managed to coast myself around the corner into a little side street and sat waiting for the AA guy. Then he came out and basically stripped all this dashboard out. It's quite simple actually how it all goes back in, so when I put it back together in a bit, you can sort of see how it goes back in, and sort of I'll mention how, in which order it comes out in, to get it to where we are with this here now. But yeah, as I said, it was just flopping around all over the place because that one had come off. So what we're going to do next is we're going to release both these top sections and get them out, and then release the ones at the bottom, and then hopefully the whole thing should come out up through the floor, methinks. So that would make sense. So yes, we'll do that next. Well, the other thing we need to make sure is that when we take these off, when we're going to put them back again, we've got them in the right order. But it's quite simple. The one that goes in the top here, the one the furthest away, the one that's sticking out, has got a big round black end on it. And then this one here, the finger's pointing in the right direction. Let's start that again. So yeah, the big one up there is a big round one. This is the one that's furthest away from me. And then the other one is got a smaller end on it, so we need to remember that when we come to put them back in, that the smaller end one is the one that's nearest to me. But I've taken a photograph of it as well just to make sure. But to get them out, I might demonstrate it better on the ones up on top. It's basically they're on a spring, so basically it's like a push button. So that's, oops, let's just put that back in again because basically it came off. So yeah, so they're on a push button type of thing. So basically, you, with your thumb, push it in and it comes out. So basically, it's on one of the other ones. You can actually see it that it's a spring on there as well. So that's both of those released. I'm going to move my lead light out of the way, and then we're going to release these off of the bracket that's on there now, and then we'll release it all off the other side. Then the whole thing should then pull up through the floor with a bit. Sorry, I can't record this any better because I'm laying on my back and there's absolutely nowhere to put the camera. So yeah, up on the top here, we basically push that in, pull it off. Lift that off a bit. Push that in and pull it off. So that's that released. Now, I can't remember what the guy on the other video did. I'll have to watch the other video how we get this one done. It was something weird we had to do with it. I can't remember what it was, because I'm trying to work out how to get the ones off the bottom as well. Well, they just push on. Or they're screwed on in a thread. Not quite sure. Well, let me work it out and then I'll come back. Right, just had a quick look to see how you do it. Just had a look at the new one actually, which gives you a better idea. So basically you get hold of this, or probably best to put like a flat blade screwdriver in there, because this is basically on a spring. Sorry about that bit of camera work there. So basically, it's sorry, that's it. So you basically pull it up and pull it out. This one might be a bit more difficult to get at because it's in the hole there, so just wrenching it out might be the other way of doing it. But basically it's just a case of push that up and it'll come out. But obviously you'll need two hands to do it. So yeah, so basically just that needs to just push up out of the way. So it's on a spring. And I assume it's the same for underneath as well, but I shall let you know that in a bit. So yeah, so basically you can see that being pushed up and then it'll just pull off. Be prepared for bruised knuckles, ripped fingers and all sorts of stuff. But yeah, basically they're the same as the other ones. So basically you have to pull the threaded side on a spring system. So I've got a pair of pliers on it, pulled it towards me and yank the thing out at the same time. The more broken one, the one that was causing the issues, is where the hell is that nut that's coming from? I wonder if that's the original gearbox bolt that was missing. That would make sense, unless that one's fell out again. We shall have a look at that in a minute. Anyway, yes, so yeah, that's where we are at the moment, so we should better pull it up through the floor now. Yeah, this is just fell out from the underside of the sort of like the engine bed, and that I think is the bolt that I had to replace, which was missing from the gearbox mount the other week. So there's £5 worth of bolt. Yeah, so basically once you've got it all loose, it then basically pulls up through the floor. Give it a bit of luck, a bit of wiggly jiggly. Probably two-handed job just to get it through, but yeah, basically that's the principle of how it comes out anyway. So which we'll get there in a minute. Yep. So that's the old one out, and this is the new one, which is slightly different in regards to its the actual like knuckles on the end, I suppose, are slightly different, but one would assume that it's an aftermarket piece, so it's going to be a little bit different, but generally everything else looks pretty much the same on it. So we shall feed it through and make sure we get the right knobs on the right brackets, or they're not the right things on the right hole, should I say. So basically this one here, that's the one that was loose, and then basically that goes down and it becomes, so the white one is the white one at the other end there, so that was the one that was loose, and then the yellow one, which is yellow at that end, then becomes this one that's got the black end on it rather than the white sort of like grey colour end on it. Before fitting the yellow one here, is to just see how much thread you've got sticking out the bottom. So this has got probably about 10mm of thread between the end of the black there and the end of the bit where it chamfers in. So we'll set that the same on the other one. So basically what you do to do that is you grab hold of this and you pull it towards you, and that will then release it. Then you can then slide it up and down to get it where you want to be, and then you just clip this back in again. So I'll undo it and show you on I'll show you on the new one actually, so I can leave this one where it is at the moment. So basically we can, hopefully that's in view, because I can't see what the hell's happening with the camera screen. So where are we? There we're there. That's it. There. So basically we pull on this. Oh, we should be able to pull on it. There we go. That pulls out, and then we adjust it. So we've got about 10mm on there, and then we just clip that back in again, and that gives us the same distance as what we had on the other one. If it needs any adjustment, obviously we can do that later on by just releasing that, sliding it up and down a bit, and working it out that way. So to get these back in, we just literally lift the thread, and push it in. That clips in position, and then that should, as it should, clip on to the wall. That is on. Oh, it's already on. That's on. Let's see. So why is that? Now this one, I think we need to pull it down a bit. Why is that too high? Plus it's so high. It's probably stuck down. I think it's stuck down a bit underneath. So I'm just going to clip that one on. So that's on now. So you don't need to do anything with the buttons. It's just push them on, and then they're locked in position. But, we shall have a look down below and see what we need to do there. Right, so we're back underneath there for some more fun. And so this one here, the one with this white end on it, and it's also got the white thread on it as well. That's the upper one I need to put in first. So that's the one that broke originally. Then once I've got that one in, then I can feed the other one afterwards. But again, it's the case of just pull on that piece of thread there to pull it apart, and it should just clip into the bracket. But again, as I'm upside down, I'm not going to be able to hold the camera to do that. So yeah, so anyway, that's what we're going to be doing next anyway. Yeah, so that's that one now in, and then I'm then going to grab hold of the other one, which has got the black thread on the end of it. Not that you can see it too well from here. It's stuck. Let's go up to that. It's got stuck down the hole somewhere. I'll have to have a play with that so we can get it out. Oh, there we go. So then the other one then is going to come through and then get clipped on, well, again round there, and then clip it on again. It's a two-handed job. Right, that's everything all back in there. So moment to truth. Let's just see if it works. Right, moment to truth. First, let's come off again. Second, third, fourth, fifth. Let's come off. Let's come off again. Right, after much messing about, I have well, I'll explain it in a minute. But basically, we've got all our gears now. And reverse. So we've got 5 gears in reverse. All I'm going to say is, don't buy, when you buy something like this, don't buy pattern parts. Buy the genuine Ford ones instead. It could be just the fact that my van's linkages are worn a bit. Obviously it has done 170,000 miles, but what I've had to do a bit of bodgery in the fact that I've used part of the old one and part of the new one to get it to work, and I'll explain why in a minute. I don't know if you can see in there or not, but basically the little tangs that hold on to the ball section, one of them is snapped. So basically I pushed it on and then literally started trying to move the gears, and I thought, why is it all flapping around? And this had fell off. So it's actually broken there, and I haven't got the time or the inclination to complain to the seller about this. So what I've basically done is I've mackled the old one and the new one together. So I've used the new bit off of this one and use the old bit off the old one, basically. Hard to explain that, but so basically, if you look in here, this yellow one, the one that's yellow and goes down through there, that is the old one, and then this one here, which is the one that actually fell off in the first place, is the new one. But there was nothing wrong with this bit of the old one, and as I said, that's the bit that's now broke on the new one. So what I've ended up having to do is, with an angle grinder, I'll just bodge it up with some mastic in a bit, is I've had to cut through, it's what looks like a rubber plate, but it's actually made of metal as well. So I had to cut through that, same with the old one, to get it to come out, so I could then put the old one in there. But it's what comes of having to do a bit of bodgery every now and again. And as I said, 170,000 mile van, I haven't got the time or the energy to have to send this new one back, and etc, etc. I send that, I've cut it up now, so I can't do anything with it. So yeah, bodgery is what's happened here. That's not the way to do it. But the actual, installation that I've sort of shown you earlier on, that is basically how it works. Right, apart from putting the dashboard back together, we're back together now. So that's first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and reverse. Right, let's put the dashboard back together, and I'll show you how it goes back in. So the first bit we're going to take, get it right. So the first bit we're going to put back in is the central section, but when you're taking it apart, that's the last piece that comes out. But we're going to put this piece in first. So we need to, not much space here, but basically we need to locate that over the top of the gear stick. You then need to pull your gator section through the middle of it. So I'll just do that quickly, because I'm going to need 2 hands to do it. Right, so that's the gator pulled back through. Then what we need to do is we need to just locate the central section back in. Should just tap back in, which it does. So that's this on 3 clips. About one clip about there. There's one clip here which was broken on mine, so it might have already been out before, unless the AA broke it, but hey ho. And then there's another clip here, And then we then have a screw hole here and a screw hole down there. So we need to put those screws in first. So there's two this side and there's also two the other side. And then there's also a third screw just down here where my finger's pointing down there. So you basically got 3 screws up this side, 3 screws on the other side. So the next bit we're going to put back in is this bit that goes around the lower half of the steering wheel. Now this can be either the first or second piece to come out. It's just on 4 clips. And then the other side is the glove box. So basically there's a clip around here, clip around there, same on the other side, and it's just a case of just tap it back in. Well, I should be able to tap it back in. Where's that not going in? Perhaps I should have put the lower half in first, maybe. Oh, I see, that just goes up there. Yeah, it's just a case of just located it in. There we go. That's it, just a bit of jiggery pokery. Right, let's go on the other side. And then the final third piece we're going to put back in is the glove box, but this could either be the first or second piece to take out. So basically you've got like these sections here on both sides there. They locate onto these sections here, so they basically just pushes in, and then up here somewhere is where you then put it back in afterwards. So I'll do the lower bit and then show you where the upper bit is. So that's the lower part of the glove box in now on that section there. So then what we then need to do, this here, there's like a tang on that side and one on that side as well. Basically you just push them in. So basically that holds it in place. So it basically locates up here and up here. And then we just shut it up, and that's everything back together apart from just putting the gator back in position. But as I said, when you come to take it apart, you'll need to take either the glove box out first or the other section underneath the steering wheel, and vice versa. So get those 2 sections out first, and then it's just 6 screws. Take the middle section out, get your gator down through the middle of it, and that's when you'll then get to the gubbins of what you then need to deal with. Well, my gator's a little bit worn, but as I said, it's 170,000 mile fan, so it's not surprising it's worn. But basically you got 2 prongs here and here. They locate in first, and then basically then you just push the whole thing in position. My gator, as I said, it's all a bit floppy and worn. This bit won't stay onto the gear knob anymore, so it is what it is. But anyway, yeah, so that's the installation complete. That's been a bit of a challenge, I must say. If you're prepared to have a go at it, then you can do it, or you might just think to yourself, let's go to the garage and get it done. Well, I hope you found the video useful, and if you did, please consider liking and subscribing to the channel. It'd be much appreciated. And if you've got any questions, please don't hesitate to ask, and I'll see you again in the next one. Cheers.